Man, I think I'm just gonna rant. You know, the only reason I'm showing the Nationals game is because I did want to talk about it a little bit, but it's more of the same. Just Anthony Rendon and Juan Soto are just lighting it up. And we all know about Jack Flaherty being a great pitcher, man, but man, Trey Turner, the fastest, like second fastest man in baseball. Man, this team's just, I mean, it's not over till it's over. But this is looking ugly. But I want to talk about the Astros. And hopefully you guys like what I'm about to say. What the heck is wrong with us? You know, why do we always make it so hard? Look at Game 2 of the World Series. We eke it out. Look at Game 7 of the World Series. I'm sorry, Game 5 of the World Series. We eke it out. Why do we have to make it look so thrilling and amazing? Why can't we just go like Game 7 of the World Series and just start going off in the beginning? You know, last night's game, I don't know about you guys, but that game was one of the most exciting games of the year. And this is not the first time we've done it. Do you guys remember the game that was 10-10 with the Jonathan Lucroy slide with Jake Marisnick against the Angels regular season this year? I mean, baseball's thrilling. If you guys watch baseball and get bored with it, let me straighten you guys out. This is the most thrilling sport of all time. Okay, it's not the only sport I have an interest in, but it's my main sport. And you guys, if you look at baseball, Fox is getting more clever about putting more and more commercials in. But when you guys were looking at like the ALDS, not the CS, but the DS, they would do 12 minutes of gameplay, 2 minutes of commercials, 14 minutes of gameplay, 2 minutes of commercials, 17 minutes of gameplay, 2 minutes of commercials. And anybody that knows baseball knows that the drama between the pitches is still thick in the air. So there's no downtime. In the DS, they basically, even in pitching changes, would stay in the moment and sometimes put like a bottom border, like an advertisement, or put in like a Duracell battery, like picture in picture. But now they're starting to, on pitching changes, go to commercials, which I'm not a fan of commercials. But when I saw the pacing of football, which we're not talking about here, it just bored me. And I like more like precision sports. And people are allowed to like what they like, and I like what I like, and you guys like what you like. But I just like precision sports. And I'm not trying to be cool or 2019 or anything like that. And like I said, I'm going to rant today. But man, I've been watching tennis for 39 years. And I remember watching Martina Navratilova. And to this day, she's my favorite tennis player of all time. She could kick Serena Williams' butt. Man, that woman was awesome. She was awesome. Martina Navratilova is my favorite tennis player of all time who happens to be a woman. I don't watch things because the networks like it. I watch it because I like it. And like I said, I'm ranting. Sorry about that. You know, I'm just giving you guys some good content. I'm trying to keep it real. If you guys want to, if you guys want one more anecdotal women's, league, hey, Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops, remember that team, WNBA? Man, that was why the league was growing at that time, because we had the Houston Comets were the most electric WNBA team in history to this day, and that was the golden age of the WNBA. It was so weird that the golden age of the WNBA was actually, at the very beginning, the very first 4 or 5 years with Lisa Leslie, Teresa Witherspoon, New York Liberty, and the Los Angeles Sparks with Lisa Leslie. Cynthia Cooper was not in our guys, Kim Peratt, all of them. They were not only going up, they were going up against other legends. They were winning in a time where the golden era of players was in the league. So where do you go when you've hit the pinnacle, right? Like, they hit a grand slam right off the bat with the WNBA. So I'm just into what I'm into. Unfortunately, a lot of sports I like, the golden era has already passed. And so the golden era of the WNBA, in my humble opinion, has passed. The golden era of Formula One with Senna and Prost and real driving has passed. And when you look at a lot of sports, even tennis, the golden era has passed us. That's why they made the movie with Shia LaBeouf about Borg versus McEnroe. That era has passed. That was a golden era that cannot be replicated. And they try to make these storylines and narratives. But those eras, if you want to see tennis, if you have any interest in precision sports or like motorsports or like really hardcore driving, look at 1980 when it comes to tennis. That was a magical year with Connor, Borg, McEnroe, and Connor, Borg, McEnroe, and sorry, my phone glitched. Navratilova, Chris Everett, man, and Steffi Graf came along after, and she was awesome too. That was an amazing time for tennis. But after that, you have And furthermore, if you look at Formula One, to switch the subject, Formula One was Ayrton Senna, Brazilian drivers. All my favorite drivers are Brazilians, with exceptions, of course. I love the Nico Rosberg, feud, Mercedes feud. There's a lot of, when they feud, I feed off these feuds, and I think a lot of people do. But when you look at Senna versus Prost, or Jacques Villeneuve versus Schumacher, you are looking at these incredible F1 battles. And that time of hard driving with the stick is passed us by with the MP4/4, the famous car. They've moved into like the paddle shifters, and it's just it's a different type of driving. It's just not the same. So if you guys are interested, and I just want to let you guys know, if you do look up Senna versus Prost and you don't know about it, that ends in a tragedy. Ends up in the biggest tragedy of all time. So there's it's pretty much one of the best storylines. If you guys haven't seen the movie Rush, I do recommend that. That's also another F1 battle with Niki Lauda and James Hunt. Amazing. That's in the 70s. But the golden era of these sports has passed us by, will never be duplicated for different reasons. And in a time like the 1980 hockey team Winter Olympics, that will, in Lake Placid, that will never be duplicated ever again. And so right now, my main point when I come around full circle is that we are now in the golden era of the Astros legacy. The golden era of baseball, when you look at like Murderers Row in the 20s and the 30s, all the way up to the 50s, Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, that era can never be duplicated again from the 20s and 50s. But now that we're in the post-expansion world, the game of baseball, the thrill of baseball, watching these teams go at it, like rock and stick, is still there. And so the absolute thrills are still there. Of course, with the juiced baseballs, that's a little bit disappointing, the purchase of Rawlings by the MLB. They'll fix it. They'll work it out. They're having people look at it. I think they won't admit to it. But anyway, they just pinned the core too centered when they were handmade balls. So I don't know what's going on deeply in that, but they're doing an analysis right now. But anyway, back to the point. We are in the golden era of post-expansion right now. And especially if you're a Houston Astros fan, of course, everybody's opinion is biased. I'm just keeping it real. I'm giving you guys anecdotal stories that I don't think you're going to hear anywhere else. So I'm just trying my best to share and express myself with you guys and see if these stories have a deeper meaning and catch some ether in the city of Houston. And what I saw last night was beyond thrilling. That was a classic playoff moment. The playoffs are always exciting, but for us to be on the fringe of going down 2-0 and Justin Verlander doing exactly what he does on proper rest, I didn't have a doubt in my mind. It was disappointing to see what happened with him against Tampa. I didn't have a doubt in my mind that Verlander was going to show up, and I think Cole's going to show up too. And one other thing is when Altuve dropped that line drive that bounced up high on that one bounce, man, my heart almost broke for him. Literally, my heart almost broke. And Correa was kind of, as he had the greatest interview after. He admitted he was creeping over into the play instead of standing there flat-footed watching the play. And Correa had a monster game. His monster RBI, his almost home run to center, his home run at the end. Why do we have to make it so many left on base? Why do we have to make it so thrilling? Why can't we just smash these guys? This is war. This is a battle, man. This is not easy, and I never expected it to be easy. I just didn't expect for there to be this many thrills, this intense. Last night's game was wicked intense. It was like heart attack intense. Hopefully they don't give us too many more moments like that. I know a lot of people are like, oh, if they went to the game, I want to go home. If they're on TV, oh man, won't this just get over? And it's not because we're not enjoying the caliber of baseball they're giving us. It's just the intensity is just like, baseball is all about kind of anticipating the moment. The moment will come. It's just when. And even when I see a whiff or a strikeout or I see a no-hitter, all that stuff thrills me on both sides. I don't need to see all the offense. I like to see, I guess you could call it the defense or the pitching. When I see a whiff or a pitcher like Charlie Morton going from one side of the plate, working inside out to the other side of the plate with the same pitch, working both sides of the plate, for me, that's thrilling. Anyway, that's my video. Hopefully you guys liked it. And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.